Years passed since the light of the brave had returned. The Delcari lands, once quiet and broken, were now full of life. Children ran through the rebuilt streets. Markets buzzed with voices. The people were no longer afraid. They were proud. Logan lived in a small home near the edge of the main village. He kept his days simple. He helped farmers, told stories to young ones, and sat in the sun. He had found peace at last. The old jacket with the faded emblem was kept in a glass case in the house. Village Hall. It stood as a reminder not of war, but of the day the Delcari chose to stand. One morning, Arisa visited him. She wore the uniform of a council leader now, but her smile was still the same. "They're gathering in the hall today," she said. "It's the day we remember the dust plains." Logan stood slowly. "I didn't forget." They walked together through the streets. People greeted them with warmth. Some touched their hearts in respect. The village hall was filled with faces, young and old. Elder Tovik, now slower but still wise, opened the gathering. He spoke of the past, of the fear, the silence, and the change. Then he stepped aside. Arisa stood before the people. She spoke with steady grace. "Years ago, we were afraid. We had lost our stories, our hope. Then a man walked among us, carrying a forgotten symbol. He did not claim greatness. He did not ask for power. He simply stood with us. And that changed everything." She turned to Logan. "Logan Cole, please come forward." You walked slowly, the crowd parting for him. He stood beside her as she lifted a small medal. "We cannot repay what you gave us, but we can honor it." She placed the medal around his neck. It was simple, just like the man himself. A symbol of unity, shaped like the emblem he once wore. Logan looked at the crowd. He saw Arisa's eyes shining with pride. He saw children, wide-eyed and full of dreams. He saw warriors, builders, teachers, and families. "I didn't do this alone," he said. "You did it, all of you. I just gave you a reason to believe." The crowd cheered. It wasn't loud. It was warm, strong, and full of meaning. Later, after the gathering, Logan sat with Arisa near the old training yard. "You've built something amazing," he said. "We did it together," she replied. "You were the spark." He looked out at the horizon. "I think it's time." "Time for what?" "Time for me to go." "Not far. Just ... away. Let the next chapter begin without." "Me?" Arisa nodded slowly. "Where will you go?" "Somewhere quiet. Somewhere new. Maybe help someone else." The next morning, he packed a small bag. He said goodbye to the council, to the children, to the friends he had made. Arisa walked with him to the edge of the village. She handed him a new jacket, plain, strong, and clean. "No emblem?" he asked with a smile. "You don't need one anymore," she said. "You carry it in the way you walk." They embraced. No words were needed. Logan turned and walked down the path. As he moved farther away, a breeze picked up, and the trees whispered gently. In the village, life went on. The people remembered. The light of the brave was not just a symbol. It was a story passed on from voice to voice, from heart to heart. And somewhere on another world, a stranger would one day meet an old man with calm eyes, a firm voice, and a quiet strength. And that, too, would be the start of something new. The battle on the dust plains changed everything. News of the Delcari victory spread across nearby systems. For the first time in years, people spoke the name of the Delcari with respect. Other peaceful groups who had hidden from the sector authority began to reach out. Some sent food and medicine. Others sent fighters. A quiet rebellion was beginning to grow. Logan stayed in the village, but he knew the fight was not over. The sector authority would come back stronger. He met often with Arisa, Elder Tovik, and the new leaders rising from the people. They formed a council to lead together. One morning, Arisa brought him a simple uniform. It had no symbols, no bright colors, just clean lines and strong fabric. She held it out to him. "The people want you to wear this," she said. Logan took it slowly. I'm not a commander. You are to them, Orisa said. You gave them hope. He looked at her, then at the people working nearby. He saw strength in their faces. Not because of him, but because of what they had built together. He nodded. All right, but only if we wear the same. This fight belongs to all of us. Orisa smiled. She agreed. They created new outposts to protect the villages. Logan taught more people to defend themselves. He focused on teaching them how to avoid war, how to protect without hate. He told them, the best fight is the one you never need to start. Meanwhile, sector authority leaders grew angry. They sent spies and spread lies, but the Delcari stood together. The Light of the Brave had become more than a story. It had become a movement. One evening, a visitor arrived. He was human, older, dressed in civilian clothes. He asked to speak with Logan. Name's Carter, he said. Used to serve in the same unit as you. I heard stories, came to see for myself. They sat under the stars. Logan listened as Carter told him what he had heard. The rebellion was spreading. The sector was trying to silence it, but people were standing up. You started something big, Carter said. I didn't mean to, Logan replied. Maybe not, Carter said. But sometimes the right things happen because someone chose to do something small. The next day, Carter helped train new fighters. He wasn't the last. More veterans came. Some human, some alien. All of them believed in what was growing. Orisa continued to lead with grace. She listened to the people, guided them with calm strength. Logan stepped back, letting her take more command. One night, as they sat near a quiet stream, she turned to him. Why did you stay, Logan? He looked up at the stars. Because I saw something worth protecting. And because I saw someone ready to lead. She touched the emblem now worn on her own jacket. Then let me lead. It's time. He nodded. It always was. The next day, the council gathered. Logan stood before them and removed his old jacket. He folded it carefully and handed it to Orisa. This doesn't belong to me anymore, he said. It belongs to the future. Orisa took it with respect. She placed it in a glass case where all could see it, a reminder of what they had overcome. Logan stayed in the village, but no longer gave orders. He helped build, shared stories, and taught those who wanted to learn. Years passed. The sector authority lost control of many regions. Peace slowly returned. The Delcari built new schools, new roads, and new homes. Children grew up hearing about the man with the emblem who helped them stand. They learned not just about battle, but about kindness, unity, and courage. And sometimes Logan would walk through the markets. People still nodded and smiled. Some asked for stories. He always pointed to Orisa and said, she's the one who built this. I just showed up. But deep down, they all knew the truth. The light of the brave had returned. Not through power or fear, but through one man's choice to stand when it mattered. And that made all the difference. The days after the battle were full of rebuilding. The Delcari villagers worked together to clean up the damage. Logan helped where he could, lifting heavy pieces of debris, building walls, and fixing broken tools. Orisa moved through the crowds, offering words of hope and making sure supplies were shared fairly. News of the victory spread quickly, across Vela Prime and even beyond. More Delcari came, bringing food, medicine, and stories. Many had hidden for years, afraid to speak about the light of the brave. Now, they came forward, proud and strong. Logan noticed the change. The people walked taller. They no longer whispered. When they spoke his name, they smiled when they saw the emblem on his jacket. Some even touched it for good luck. Elder Tovik returned with a group of leaders from other settlements. They gathered in the village hall to discuss the future. The sector authority will not stop, said one leader. They lost one battle, but they will come back. Logan nodded. Then we make sure they find more than just farmers next time. He had a plan. He began setting up small defense teams across the Delcari lands. He didn't want war, but he wanted the people to be ready. He trained more fighters, taught them how to work in teams, how to protect each other. Orisa took charge of the younger groups. She had grown in confidence. The people listened to her. She could calm fears and spark courage. One evening, as the sky turned orange, Logan sat on a hill overlooking the village. Orisa joined him. "I used to be afraid," she said. "I thought our people would never rise again." "Fear is normal," Logan said, "but you didn't let it stop you. That's what matters." She smiled. "Do you think the stories will remember us?" "Maybe," he said. "But stories don't matter as much as the people who live them. You're leading now, Orisa, not just with words, with your heart." She looked down at the emblem on his jacket. "I think the light chose you for a reason." Logan shook his head. "I think I chose to stand. That's all." The next day, scouts brought word of a large sector force moving toward the region. Bigger than before. Tanks, ships, and more soldiers. Logan met with the other leaders. They all looked to him. "This time, they're coming to crush us," Logan said. "But we will not run. We will hold the dust plains. That is the best ground to make a stand." The dust plains were wide and open. Hard to defend, but easy to see an enemy coming. Logan planned it all. He placed traps, used the land, and positioned his fighters well. He knew how to fight, and he knew how to survive. The night before the battle, he walked through the camps. He checked on the fighters, shared stories, and reminded them to trust each other. Orisa stayed by his side. "Are you afraid?" she asked. "Always," he said, "but I believe in you and in them." When the sun rose, the sector army appeared. Rows of armored vehicles rolled across the plain. Their ships hovered above. They thought they would win easily. Logan stood at the front with Orisa. The fighters were ready, their eyes steady. The enemy called for surrender. Logan stepped forward. "We are not slaves," he said. "We are not weak. This land is ours." The battle began. It was loud and brutal. Explosions shook the ground. Smoke filled the air. But the Delcari held the line. They used every rock, every hill, every trick Logan had taught them. Orisa led her group with calm and courage. She moved quickly, helped the wounded, and pushed back the enemy when they tried to break through. Logan fought with everything he had. He moved from place to place, shouting orders, lifting spirits, and never giving up. Hours passed. The sector forces grew tired. They had not expected such a strong fight. At last, they retreated. Cheers broke out across the plains. The Delcari had won. Not just a battle, but a future. Logan stood in the middle of the field, breathing hard, covered in dust and sweat. Orisa ran to him and hugged him tightly. "We did it," she said. "No," he said with a smile. "You did." That night, the stars shone brighter than ever. Fires lit up the plains, and the people sang songs of freedom. Logan sat with Orisa and the others. He looked around at the faces of those he had come to care for. He had come to Vela Prime to rest, but now he understood. Some battles are worth fighting, not for power, but for hope. And sometimes the symbol you carry becomes real not because of what it once meant, but because of what you do with it. Logan sat in a quiet room above the training yard. Below, Delcari youths were practicing the drills he had shown them. Their steps were unsure but improving. Orisa stood among them, giving simple commands. Her voice was clear and strong. It had been 2 weeks since he started training them. More Delcari were joining every day. Some came from nearby cities. Others traveled from distant settlements. They came because they heard stories of the human with the emblem, the light of the brave. Logan didn't think of himself as a leader. He still felt like a man trying to rest from old battles. But something inside him had changed. When he saw the young one standing tall, he felt proud. Elder Tovik entered the room. He carried a small device and handed it to Logan. "A message came in," Tovik said. "You should see it." Logan pressed a button. A hologram appeared. It showed a burning Delcari village. Smoke filled the air. Loud explosions echoed in the background. A frightened voice shouted, "We are under attack." "They know." Then the image ended. "This was sent 2 hours ago," Tovik said. "A village in the eastern hills. Who attacked them?" Logan asked. "Sector Authority," Tovik replied. "They want to silence us. They want to crush belief before it grows." Logan stood. "We need to move now. Get everyone ready." Orisa came up quickly when she heard. She listened to the message and looked at Logan. "Are we going there?" "Yes," he said. "If we don't protect them, no one will. They move fast." Logan and Orisa led a small group of trained fighters. Some were nervous, but Logan spoke to them before they left. "You don't need to be heroes today," he said. "You only need to stand for each other." They reached the village by nightfall. Fires still burned. The attackers were gone, but the damage was clear. Buildings were broken. Families huddled in fear. Logan walked through the streets, helping people up, checking for wounds. He met an older man sitting near the ruins of a house. The man's face was covered in dust. "They came with machines," the man said. "No warning, no mercy." Logan looked around. He knew this was only the beginning. They worked through the night. Orisa led the young fighters to build shelters. Logan set up a defense plan. If the attackers came back, they would not find the village weeped out in the early morning. Logan stood by a wall and watched the sun rise. Orisa joined him. "You think they'll come again?" she asked. "Yes," Logan said. "They want to scare us." "But we're still here," Orisa said. He nodded. "That's what matters." Later that day, scouts reported movement near the hills. Logan gathered the fighters. He placed them behind cover and told them to stay calm. The attackers came fast, armored vehicles and 20 soldiers. They wore black gear with the sector symbol. Logan stood in the center of the village road, alone. The lead officer stepped out. "You are interfering with sector peace. Stand down." Logan didn't move. "These people are free. They will not kneel to fear." The officer laughed. "You think you can stop us with farmers and children?" Logan smiled. "Let's find out." Shots rang. Out. The Delcari fighters returned fire from cover. Logan moved fast, using old training. Orisa stayed low, guiding her team. One of the vehicles was hit and stopped moving. Smoke poured out. The sector soldiers pulled back. Surprised by the resistance dot, after 10 minutes, the attackers retreated. Logan stood in the smoke, breathing hard. He looked around. His team was tired but alive. The village cheered. For the first time, they had fought and won. Later, Logan helped treat wounds. He sat beside a young fighter with a hurt arm. "You were brave today," Logan said. "You showed us how," the boy said. That night, the village lit small fires in a circle. Elders spoke of the battle. Children listened with wide eyes. Orisa stood beside Logan. "They believe now," she said. "Not in me," Logan said. "In themselves." "But you gave them the reason." Logan looked up at the stars. He felt tired, but something inside him was lighter. He had not come to be a leader, but he could not walk away. The symbol on his jacket was more than cloth. It was a promise, and he would keep it. Logan sat with Elder Tovik and Captain Varl as the small room grew darker. The city lights outside the window started to glow, casting long shadows inside. Orisa brought a lamp and placed it on the table. The warm light made the elder's face look tired but kind. "The Delcari live in fear," Tovik began. "Our people were once spread across many worlds, but now we are scattered and weak." Captain Varl leaned forward. "There are groups who want us gone. They see our old beliefs as dangerous. If the stories of the light return, they may lose control." Logan nodded slowly. "And now that I showed up with this symbol, they're afraid. The old beliefs will rise again." Tovik smiled. "Yes, and many Delcari already believe you are the one." "I didn't ask for that," Logan said. "I didn't come here to lead anyone." "We understand," said the elder. But belief does not ask for permission. It simply grows. Orisa sat next to Logan. She looked hopeful but quiet. Logan could feel the pressure building. He had wanted peace, but now eyes were on him again, just like during the war. "What do you want me to do?" Logan asked. Vol spoke firmly. "We need a symbol. Someone who reminds our people of who they were. Someone who gives them courage to stand." Logan thought for a moment. "I can't promise anything, but I won't run. If I can help, I will." Tovik stood and bowed his head. "That is enough for now. We will return tomorrow. Rest well." The two Delcari left. Logan sat in silence, staring at the emblem disc on the table. "Are you sure?" Orisa asked him. "No," Logan said. "But I've been in battles before, and I've seen what happens when good people stay quiet." The next day, Logan and Orisa visited a nearby Delcari district. It was quiet, with worn-down buildings and empty streets. Orisa explained that many Delcari were afraid to speak out. They feared the patrols of the Sector Authority, a group that kept control over parts of Vela Prime Dot in one of the buildings. They met with a small group of Delcari elders. Some were very old, others younger but full of worry. When Logan entered, they stood in silence. Orisa introduced him. "This is Logan Cole. He carries the light of the brave." Whispers passed between the elders. One stepped forward, an older woman with silver markings on her skin. "I saw that symbol once," she said, "when I was a girl. My family was rescued from the slave camps. The man who helped us had eyes like yours." Logan didn't know what to say. He just nodded. Double quotes, "We need your help." Another elder said, "Our children are afraid. Our stories are fading. If they see you, maybe they will remember who we are." Logan looked around. The room was filled with tired eyes, but also something else hope. "Then, let's give them something to believe in," he said. Over the next few days, Logan started working with the Delcari youth. He showed them simple drills, how to move, how to stand, how to breathe in battle. He taught them not to fight with anger, but with focus. Orisa helped translate when needed. At first, the young ones were shy. But Logan had a calm voice, and his movements were steady. Slowly, they began to trust him. He also spoke to the elders and families. He listened to their stories, shared a few of his own, and made it clear he wasn't a savior. He was just a man trying to help. Word spread fast. More Delcari came to see him. Some brought gifts, others simply watched. But the symbol on his jacket faded. As it became a sign of hope. Not everyone was happy about this. One evening, as Logan walked back to his room, a shadow stepped out from an alley. "You're stirring up old ghosts," the stranger said. He was human, dressed in a Sector Authority uniform. "Just helping people," Logan replied. "The Delcari don't need help. They need order. We don't need troublemakers like you." Logan stepped closer. "I've seen your kind before. People who hide behind rules while others suffer." The man narrowed his eyes. "Watch yourself. There are rules on this planet." Logan didn't move. "Then maybe it's time the rules change." The stranger walked off. Logan stood still for a while, then returned home. Later, he told Orisa about the meeting. She looked worried but proud. "They're scared," she said. "They know you're waking something up." "Then let them be scared," Logan said. "The Delcari deserve better." He sat down, placed the metal disc on the table again, and stared at it. He had come to Vela Prime for peace. Now he realized peace wasn't given. It had to be made. And maybe, just maybe, he had a part to play. Logan and Orisa walked through the quieter parts of Vela Prime. The market noise faded behind them. They found a small tea shop run by an old alien with green skin and soft eyes. Logan paid for 2 warm drinks, and they sat in a corner booth. Orisa held her cup in both hands, her long fingers trembling slightly. She kept stealing glances at the emblem on Logan's jacket. "Tell me more," Logan said softly. "What exactly does that symbol mean to your people?" Orisa looked up. It is the light of the brave. A long time ago, before I was born, our people were attacked by slavers. We had no weapons, no ships. We were peaceful and weak. Many were taken. Others died. She paused to breathe. Logan nodded, listening closely. Then, one day, a group of human soldiers came. They fought like no one had seen before. The stories say they moved fast, like fire in the night. They wore the symbol, the light of the brave. They saved thousands. Logan frowned. I think I remember that mission. It was near the edge of Delcari space. Our team had orders to break a slaver ring. We didn't know we'd find survivors. We were just trying to follow orders. To you, maybe, Arisa said, but to us, they were legends. The one who led them was said to have a calm voice and strong hands. He wore the emblem on his chest. My grandmother told me she saw him once. Logan blinked. That wasn't me. I was. Just a sergeant. You were part of it, Arisa said. The stories are not always exact, but the emblem is real. And it found you. Logan leaned back. The tea was sweet and sharp. He looked outside the shop. People walked by, unaware of the strange talk happening inside. So what now? He asked double quotes now . I don't know, Arisa said. You came, just like the story said. But not all will welcome you. Some will fear you. Some will try to use you. And others may try to destroy you. Logan sighed. That sounds like the galaxy I remember. They sat in silence for a while. Then Arisa reached into her robe and pulled out a small metal disc. She placed it on the table. It showed the same emblem. It looked older, carved by hand. This was passed down in my family, she said. Only to those who believe. I want you to have it. Logan hesitated, then took it. The edges were smooth from many hands. He held it in his palm and felt its weight. I don't know what to do with this, he said. Carry it, Arisa said. It will. Guide you. Later, they left the shop. The sun was lower in the sky. Logan noticed more eyes following them now. Whispers spread. Word was moving fast. They returned to Logan's small room in a quiet part of the city. He sat on the bed, the metal, disc on the table. Arisa stood near the window. This place isn't safe, she said. Why not? Because you've been seen. And if the wrong people find you, double quotes, Logan nodded. Then we keep moving. I've done that before. Suddenly, a loud knock came from the door. Logan stood up and motioned for Arisa to stay back. He opened the door slowly. Two Delcari stood outside. One was tall and dressed in fine robes. The other wore armor. We wish to speak, said the one in robes. You carry the light. Logan let them in. Arisa stepped forward and bowed. The two visitors did the same. I am Elder Tovik, said the robed one. This is Captain Varro. We serve the Delcari people. Logan nodded. What do you want? We come with respect, Tovik said. There are many who now believe. But belief is not enough. The Delcari are in danger again. From who? From those who fear we will rise, said Captain Varro. Our enemies grow bold. They do not want our people to remember the old ways. Logan looked at Arisa. She nodded. You think I can help? Logan said. We. No, you can, said Tovik. Logan didn't answer right away. He picked up the small disc again. He thought about the war, the noise, the pain. He had left all that behind, but now it had found him again. He looked at Arisa. She stood straight, her eyes filled with hope. He looked at the two Delcari visitors. They waited, calm and respectful. I'm not your hero, he said finally, but I'll listen. Tell me what's going on. The elder smiled. That is all we ask for now. And with that, the next part of Logan's journey began. Logan Cole stepped off the small transport ship and looked around the busy streets of Vela Prime. The air was warm and filled with strange smells from food, stands and alien spices. People from many different planets walked through the market. Logan liked places like this. No one cared who you were. He pulled his jacket tighter around himself. It was old and worn, something he had kept from his days in the military. He had come to Vela Prime for peace. After years of war, all he wanted was to rest, maybe find work, and stay away from trouble. The market was colorful and full of life. Sellers called out to people, offering goods in many languages. Logan moved quietly, his eyes scanning the crowd. More out of habit than fear, he stopped at a stand that sold fruit. The vendor, a short blue alien with wide eyes, smiled at him. Logan picked the fruit and handed over a few credits. As he turned to leave, he felt a strange feeling, like someone was watching him. He looked over his shoulder and saw a young alien girl standing a few feet away. She was tall and thin, with pale skin that shimmered under the light. Her eyes were large and bright violet. She wore a long robe with silver threads. She looked shocked. Then, to Logan's surprise, she dropped to her knees. Logan froze. People nearby stopped talking and turned to look. The girl lowered her head and spoke in a soft voice. "That symbol. You are the one." Logan looked down at his jacket. The patch on the sleeve was faded, but still showed the old emblem. It was a small star surrounded by a circle, the mark of his old unit. "Hey," he said, walking toward the girl. "Stand up. You don't have to do this," but she stayed on her knees. "Please, forgive me. I did not know you were here." Logan felt uncomfortable. He gently reached out and helped her to her feet. "It's okay. What's your name?" "Arisa," she said. "I am of the Delcari." Logan had heard the name before. The Delcari were a peaceful race, known for their knowledge and ancient traditions. He had met a few during the war, but not many. Arisa looked up at him with wide eyes. "This symbol," she said, touching the patch. "It is sacred to my people. We call it the light of the brave. Long ago your kind saved my ancestors. The one who carried this symbol led them to safety." Logan frowned. He remembered something like that. A mission to rescue a group of refugees during the war. He had only been a sergeant then, following orders. "That was a long time ago," he said. "I was just a soldier, nothing special." "To us, you are everything," Arisa said. More people gathered around, whispering and pointing. Logan felt the weight of their eyes on him. He didn't like being the center of attention. "Come on," he said. "Let's go somewhere quiet." He led Arisa away from the market and into a small alley between two buildings. It was quieter there. She walked beside him, still looking at him like he was someone important. "You really believe this?" he asked. "I know it," she said. "The stories were passed down through our elders. One day, the one with the symbol would return. You wear it. That means you are the one." Logan rubbed his forehead. "Look, Arisa, I'm just a tired man trying to stay out of trouble. I didn't come here to be anyone's hero." She looked sad but didn't argue. "Even if you don't believe it, I do. And others will too." He sighed. "What happens if they find out? They will come to you. Some will seek your help. Some may fear you. And others might want to stop you." Logan looked down at the emblem. It had meant duty once. Now it seemed to mean something much bigger. "I didn't ask for this," he said. "I know," Arisa replied. "But maybe it asked for you." He didn't know what to say. The quiet hum of the city surrounded them. Somewhere in the distance, a bell rang. Logan looked at Arisa. She seemed young, but her eyes were full of hope. He had seen enough war to know what hope looked like. It was rare. It was precious. "All right," he said. "Let's just take this one step at a time." She nodded. "One step is all it takes." Logan walked back into the light of the market, Arisa by his side. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but for the first time in a long while, he felt like maybe his past wasn't a burden. Maybe it was a key to something new.